Hello, Stinger 150, Army Stinger 150. I'm J Dopel 1. Call me John. Everybody does. No big secret there. But this is my video response to your subscriber appreciation giveaway. I don't do this often, but I've been watching your channel and a couple other channels long enough that I finally feel comfortable putting my face out there. And we'll just get down to brass tacks. I mainly collect bladed objects, knives, and I also have a 22 rimfire collection. I guess I collect firearms in general, but the ones that I'm very particular about and that I actually hold on to and value more than the others are the 22s. So I guess we'll just dive right on into it. We'll start with something that's near and dear to my heart. It's a little old-timer knife. The first pocket knife I ever had, ever owned. And it's just a simple three-bladed knife. But it was given to me by my grandfather when I was about 9 years old. He passed away not long after. And I carry this with me every single day in my little change pocket in my jeans. And I use it every single day to open up my mail or what have you. I guess we'll go according to size. This one's a government issue pocket knife, United States, U.S. stamped and marked. It's got a nice big lanyard loop on it that I don't ever use, and a bunch of other things, blade, can opener, bottle opener, and all. That one's pretty cool. Moving right on down the line, this is my concealable pig sticker, I call it. It's just a cheap rubber-handled dive knife that I put in an IWB style sheath. And it fits right on in there. It's a nice little knife, and I wear this when I'm in gun-free zones, just so that I'm not completely alone, in terms of self-defense, but I'm also not breaking the laws. There's really nothing special about it, but it's part of my blade collection. It's an almost EDC for me. When I'm going into a firearm-free zone, I'll switch out my Glock for that one in my truck. Moving right on down the line, here's a historical piece from near history. It's I just have it purely for the significance historically. This was actually a World War II bringback. This Nazi youth dagger from Germany, and on the blade is inscribed Blut und Ehre. I speak German fluently. It means blood and honor. I, again, don't believe in all that, but the historical significance is something that shouldn't be forgotten, lest it were to happen again. So that's another piece of the collection. This steel scabbard, they all were. Move down the line again. We'll go back a few hundred years, 14 and 1500s minimum, to one of the first stilettos. When we think stiletto, we think push-button Italian switchblade for the most part, or ladies, I'm sure you think of your heels. I don't. I think of medieval England, and I think stiletto. I think chainmail, and I think somebody not being able to use their sword, coming in and pushing this right into you, because as you see the small profile of the blade, right in through the chainmail. Cool little piece of history. Not many people know that the original stiletto was this. It's also a homemade sheath. It didn't come with a sheath. It was an expensive knife. It didn't come with a sheath. So I kind of put this together using some cheap leather that I found in a molding technique that actually I learned on YouTube. We'll go to the big boy now. This is an African bush knife. It's called a kakuri. Curved blade, almost like a boomerang. It's used for hacking and cutting through brush, and I am sure also in some sort of terrible instance it's probably used to chop up bodies, which is shitty. And this one's purely a conversation piece. I keep it on top of my gun rack in the other room over there, and people walk in and they see it. Well, what's that? And there's a little conversation right there. So, just another curio. Most knives aren't really all that practical once you get to larger sizes or whatnot, unless you're buying something durable. This is durable, yes, but it's expensive enough that it fits right in the collection. Not that I have much money, which is probably why I don't collect something like Colts or something, I don't know. And then, that just is the basics, I guess, of my knife collection. Those are the ones that I find to be the most interesting. We can go on to the rimfire collection and just give you a preview into that. I guess I'll give you a few boxes of odd ammunition that I like to collect, older ammunition, and maybe I'll show you a rifle, my new rifle at the end. I've got a whole gajillion of them in the other room in the gun safe, but I honestly don't feel like going and opening the gun safe. These are 22 quiets. You collect different varieties, you can go either subsonic or quiet. The subsonic ammunition's a little bit louder. These are actually fired off of a primer. And this is actually a CCI, an old CCI box. You'll see another one of these in just a second with what's supposed to be in it. These they stopped making in the mid-'80s, or at least this way. These are oil-coated CCI stingers. They used to coat a lot of the bullets in oil to keep the gun lubricated and this and that, and they found out that it really didn't help that much, so not many people do it anymore. Grease the shells is what they're doing. So these are old CCI stingers. These must be at least 20 years old. I bought these at a garage sale. The man said the last time he owned a 22 was back in the 70s. And so he said the ammunition had to be from then, because he hasn't bought any 22 ammunition since then. So I figured, damn, shit's almost a decade older than me. Might as well pick it up. It's something cool. You just don't see that kind of thing every day anymore. Another thing, I didn't even realize they were making birdshot now for 22s. This is just a newer box of birdshot that I had sitting out. You can see. I'm sure you've seen these rounds before, but if somebody decides to watch the video and hasn't seen these rounds, they look like a crimp blank at the end. But you can't really hear the shaking in there, but it's full of number 12 birdshot, about enough to put out a baseball-sized dent in a steel garbage can is what I've shot them at, just to see what the penetration's like. It's non-existent. But they're still fun. They're rat and snake loads, I guess. So it's just some of the 22 caliber ammunition that I've got just sitting around to show off. I've got a more extensive collection, like I said, in the other room. Try to keep this video short for you so we don't need to get into it. Here's the final little bit. Let me see. Get this up off of here. This is my newest 22. Let me make sure I take the magazine out. Do a safety check. Empty, empty. Empty as could be. And this is a Savage Model 61. Let me scoot back a little bit so you can get the whole thing in the frame. It's got standard target sights on it, but I decided I'd doll it up a little bit, and I put the scope on here. This is a 4x9x15, and then on the top I decided I wasn't quite happy enough with the scope. I just wanted to cool it out a little bit, so we decided to, I decided to put a Surefire light up here, as well as a pressure switch. And here's the pressure switch and the little cord. Pressure switch activated laser. There you go. I'll blind you for a second. No. So I decided to doll this up, and it's a cheap rifle. It's $130 brand new. And for another $150, you can add these optics. I've probably got more in my optics than I do in my rifle, but this is a rifle that's very durable, and it'll outlive me if I take care of it. So, that's just I suppose the tip of the iceberg, but it should give you an idea of what I'm into collecting and the kind of things that you might see if you came over to my house and decided to have a beer and stick around for a barbecue or something. There's also plenty of land out back, so every time we have a barbecue before we get to drinking and barbecuing, we get here, I don't know, 2, 3 in the afternoon and shoot for an hour or two with just rimfire guns. Then we get to barbecuing and having a good time. So I hope that you enjoyed my video response, and I hope that you enjoyed seeing a small portion of my collection. And you know, I'll sign off by saying what I always say: today was a wonderful day, and tomorrow's going to be even better.